Kazanmak için önce kafanın ferah olması gerekir. Mücadele stresli, koşullar zorluysa yeni Head and Shoulders Men spor ferahlığı. İlk kullanımdan itibaren %100'e kadar kepek koruması ve benzersiz mentor ferahlığıyla sen de kafanı ferahla, kazanmaya başla. Ben bu kafayla daha çok kazanırım. Yeni Head and Shoulders Men spor ferahlığı. Kazanmak kafada başlar.
Sport ekranından herkese merhaba. Fenerbahçe Beko Final Four medya günüyle karşınızdayız ve yanımızda Wade Baldwin var. Hello once again.
Yep, we're back.
We are here once again together, creating the same kind of synergy before Final Four, hopefully.
Right. Yep.
And I mean, last year we were here talking about your first Final Four, and this time you're here as the reigning champ.
Yep. Honor to be back here. Obviously, for Fenerbahçe, it's an expectation. It feels like in December we got our Final Four jackets and suits fitted to get ready to get to Athens. So that tells you what type of club, what type of expectation you're a part of. And obviously, being the champions of last year, we want to make it a 2 in a row.
That's great that you said it. You already started preparing in every aspect for it in December.
Yeah.
And I mean, you in Istanbul has become this great story for you, I guess. Your family is happy over here, I'm guessing. You are happy personally in the city and in the club. And there are these talks of contract extensions. Of course, the fans are very happy to hear the positive news about it.
Right.
How are you feeling about it all?
Very good. Obviously, this is a dream come true. I talked about it before in other interviews. Finding a home base, and as an American guard and American just in general, navigating his way through European basketball, the business of it, bouncing from team to team, it's challenging to perform at a high level. Make a place your home is something that you really want to achieve in your career, and I feel like I put myself in a good position to be an important piece of such a historical club.
And this season has been more demanding than ever with 20 teams.
Right.
It hasn't been easy, so it's at least good that you were able to settle in a city before all this craziness started.
Right. Yeah, last year was a very hard transition. I talked about it last year, just coming into a new situation, transitioning from what I believed was going to be my home for many years, dealing with the war in Israel, transferring over here, just getting acclimated to an entirely different culture and a way of life. But adjusting well. We've had opportunity to play with some great teammates, great locker room mates that make it enjoyable to show up to work every day. Going into practices, just in general, the overall culture of this team that I've been a part of for 2 years is the best of my career, and hopefully we continue that for as long as I'm here.
You're talking about this experience being one of the best in your career for sure, but was this your most consistent season yet? I mean, you had some really good years in Maccabi, but
Right.
I feel like, all around Wade Baldwin is
Right.
having a more consistent season over here.
Right. I would say that my first 2 years in Maccabi, those 2 years were some of the best individual basketball that I've played in my career. I think this year was the most complete version of myself. Transition into just an all-time playmaker and up and assist, maintaining the scoring. In the beginning of the year, I talked about trying to get back to the all EuroLeague level player that I was when Fenerbahçe originally signed me to come over. I dealt with 3 months of injury last year with hamstrings through the beginning of the season and in the middle. This year, through 38 games, I've only missed one in the EuroLeague, so that was a very big accomplishment for me coming to this season and helped the progression of me having a very consistent season through the start to the end. And there's 2 more games to prove it.
And all EuroLeague second team, as you said, you're back to that point. It's your third selection in that position. Those Maccabi years, you were also selected to the second team.
Right.
How are you feeling about it all?
Obviously honored. I obviously feel like I'm a bit allergic to the first team selection. Obviously, the goal is to be an MVP level player, a first team all EuroLeague player. But this is the selection process. As long as you're one of those 10 guys, I feel like it's an honor. But a lot of that comes with the team success. We're finishing top 4 this year, 4th this year, 2nd last year. It's important for our team to be where we are now to get any sort of individual achievement awards.
I agree with you when you say, being in that top 10 is already a privilege. But, still, it can be better in the
Right.
first team. Does it put more fuel for you in the tank? The Final Four MVP is still up for grabs.
Right. Yeah, I think that, that's kind of the one thing in your individual goals in playing this game is to be considered, the best. And I approach every practice, every day, every game wanting to be that. So we'll try again next year. But we have a great opportunity in Athens to achieve another goal personally of mine. And also as a team, I think nothing speaks more than going back to back. I talked about it in other interviews as well. Transitioning here to Turkey, I have such an amazing inspiration of a player in Shane Larkin who's done it before me. He's with the Turkish national team. He's won 2 back-to-back championships with the FS, arguably 3 if the COVID season doesn't go through. I'm in a position to match that. And when I first came to EuroLeague, guys like Mike James, Shane Larkin were the top tier guys. So putting myself in the situation to be mentioned in the conversation with them is a challenge for me, and I think that it's something I'm really, really striving for, and we'll see what happens in Athens.
And while you are having this great season, some things have changed for you because you're now more of a sixth man coming off the bench. You were for Maccabi a starter.
Right.
Last year it was half and half. You came back from the injury. Sometimes you started, sometimes you were off the bench. This season, though, except for Devon's injury period where you started games, you
Right.
came off the bench. And what kind of a change was this for you in the game?
No change. I think we found success with the team last year with me coming off the bench. Obviously, this is an ego thing. It's you want to be a starter. You want to get the recognition of starting the games, but we have a system here. We have a system of winning and competing, and we're playing with a coach that has an understanding how to do that. So it's not difficult to set aside any personal ego that you have in order for the better of the team. So last year I'm coming off the bench with Devin at times. I'm coming off the bench with Eric. This year I'm coming off the bench with an all-time EuroLeague great in Nando De Colo. So there's no ego that's involved with it. You play your role, and at the end of the day, you look at the minutes throughout this season. I have the most, and a lot of the times I'm finishing those games. And our coach talks about it before and all the time. There's no starting 5 here. The guys that end the game are the guys that end the game, and I often find myself in that situation.
Yeah, I will ask about it, especially in the playoffs part, how you were exhausted because it
Yeah.
was like you will be playing the last 20 minutes of the game.
Right.
And we will come to that. I asked about being the sixth man because I once asked these questions to Theo Papaloukas, who is an all-25. And he was saying that he liked it even better because then you would start the game with the coach's plan and the plan would go wrong and the coach will sub you in and you would be the coach on the court.
Right.
He looked at it
Yeah.
this way. Is
Okay.
it somehow true to you too?
I think for our situation, we like hitting teams in waves. Obviously, we have Devin Hall, who's one of our consistent point guards, defenders. We have Talon, who's a spark energy to get the game going with his flashy play, his attacks to the basket. And then I come in and just make a wave offensively and defensively as well with Nando. So we found success in winning games and with me in that position. So why change anything if it's working? And again, it's no biggie to me as long as, I'm finishing those games. There's really no issue with me. I'm a competitor. I want to be in at the last moments, and I've been given that opportunity. I think that I've taken advantage of those opportunities.
Here you are. You were just talking about Shane Larkin and Mike James and how you are looking up to those guys in
Right.
terms of, being the next guy after them.
Right.
And I think Talon coming in here, he got this mentality having you,
Right.
looking up to you. So how do you find his impact and adaptation so far?
Great.
All along, actually.
Talon from the start. He came a little bit late to our training camp,
Yeah.
but you could tell he was trying to be a magnet of information, trying to figure out what he can do to help the team. He knew what type of environment he is. He can receive information. He knows where his 2 feet are. This wasn't the case of an NBA guy, a young NBA guy coming over, believing that he's bigger than European basketball itself in EuroLeague. This was a guy who understood everything, that you didn't really have to do much telling to.
Do you include yourself? You know, those NBA youngins coming to Europe and looking at it
I
that
came
way?
in much younger. He
Yeah.
came in at 24, 25.
Yeah,
I came in
true.
at 21, 22. Not understanding absolutely anything. So it was a little bit different in my circumstance to his. But he did a much better job than I did in the first year. That's not even a comparison there. But just a guy who's a magnet to what's doing what's right. And I think that our culture, our locker room helped that with him. And I'll give him 99% of the credit of his attitude, his character in becoming who he has become in this league.
Yeah, and it's so rare to see a guy to come to Europe for the first time and
Right.
have this kind of an impact
Right.
just in the first year. I don't remember many examples. Like,
Right.
for example, even Shane Larkin had a hard time at first.
Right.
And yeah, how did you build this relationship though? I see you guys are all getting along, yes, on court, but off the court really well too.
It's very simple. I mean, it's like at the end of the day, we have a very good group of guys that understand the main goal of winning. We're all around the same age, so it's easy. We talk about basketball, we talk about life, and it's just a good environment. It helps that we win games consistently, and even during our stretch of losing in March, we were able to always stay connected as a team. Winning helps that.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, we have guys that won't let the ship, go over. We won't let attitude spill in the way of what it means to have a good environment.
I was talking to Talon after Game 4 in Kaunas, and he was like, between his words, he said, Wade is one of the veterans. In his statement, you're 30 years old and already called a veteran. Are you loving the situation?
Yeah, I hate that. When I think of veteran, I think of guys who kind of like have a bit of their career behind them, and
I think it's in terms of your experience. He
it
said
is
it that way.
experience, but I don't want to classify myself as a guy like Nando or Nico, who's just like a dinosaur out there. I still feel like I have a lot of catching up to do, a lot of like chasing I need to do in my career. So I understand that it's my 7th season. I am considered a veteran guy, and I have the experience, but I also like to look at it personally, like I'm still striving to write my own resume here.
I mean, Talon getting to the basket is a scary thing, especially when you're sitting right behind the basket like I do.
Right.
And he's crafty. He sometimes finishes, layups, baskets that I cannot believe to.
Right.
You're that way. So you're kind of a nightmare duo for your opponents to guard, right?
Yeah, I think that you take a look at the landscape of EuroLeague, and you see two guys making an all EuroLeague selection from one team. Olympiacos had 3 players, but in terms of backcourt and 2 guards, through the 38 games, we've been proven to be the better 2. So we need to continue that obviously here in Athens and prove ourselves as being that deadly combination, and also understand that we have Devin Hall alongside of us,
Yes.
Who shows up in the biggest moments of the games. And we also have Nanda Kolo, an absolute legend of European basketball in itself. The collection of us 4 ball handlers, it's a tough out. It's not going to be an easy game versus Fener at any point.
Özel shared this picture of you, Talon, and Tarık together after you won in Kaunas.
Yeah.
And it was like a good friendship over there.
Right.
We know the friendship you got with Tarık,
Yeah.
but maybe do you love Talon more now?
I would
Just to
still
make
say
Tarık jealous.
Tarık's my number 1. Just the history that we have even from last year and everything. So Tarık is a special person. He brings a special uniqueness to the league, to the locker room. But it's just a great group. Like it's exciting to show up to work every day in the mornings, even though you're doing the same things and you're being consistent. And consistency sometimes is the hardest thing, and it sucks. But we find a way to make it enjoyable to see each other each day, each road trip, and these are the positive traits that are in a winning or good situation team.
And about Tarık, we still see a lot of improvements on his game.
Yeah.
I mean, more ball screens, he can roll. He does a lot more than shooting now, I believe so.
Right.
What makes him such an important player for you, especially when you are playing in the fourth quarters? I believe he's the guy who plays the most alongside you.
Right. Well, Tarek has the ability to shoot with anybody in the world. At first, he's that. The mental toughness that he has, just in general, and approach to the game, it's also what separates him. He's a tough guy. He refuses to quit. He refuses to be a loser. He wants to be a winner, and these are the characteristics that you want in a player. And he's finding his way to play better basketball throughout the course. I think him and the Turkish national team during those FIBA breaks helped him out a lot, playing with the ball in his hand, and he's transferred that over to our Fenerbahçe team.
I asked you before if this was the most consistent season you had. This time
Right.
I'm asking, is this the most clutch season you also had?
Yeah, I think this season I've managed to have one game winner, one game tying one.
Yeah.
Both games against Barcelona, it's very, very clutch free throws. So this season I put together good clutch moments in the fourth quarter. This comes with preparation. This comes with consistency. This comes with like just the teammates' understanding and belief in me. And hopefully it doesn't give us an opportunity in Athens for those moments to happen. But if it does, I'll be fully ready for that situation.
Talking about being clutch, we gotta talk about that regular season win against Pau, because it was like the craziest shot.
Right.
And tell us about it. How tough is it to make it? Because your body is just, you got your legs wide open. It's a different and a weird position to shoot at.
Right. There's always motivation. It's a big game. You're playing against Panathinaikos, who there's been a bit of a rivalry with the logo situation there. The Final Four from the last year beating them. But in that moment, I told Nanda before he inbounded the ball, make sure you find me. And it's a simple one dribble pull-up shot. At the moment, I thought it was a bit of a foul. But you can't want those situations anymore for a career. Like that is a situation any player wants to be in. You talk about those moments when you're shooting in your backyard and you're counting down in your head and you make that shot. To bring that to full life was a great feeling. And of course, I had to add a little bit of theatric at the end.
And I mean, there's only 1 week left to repeat that position. Pose you got in the logo, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And the T-shirt that came after it. How did you love it?
Oh, I mean, that is as good as it gets. Like, you see those around. You see people purchasing those shirts. My family had the opportunity to like buy a bunch of them and give them out to my family members. Like, you're just so like thrown off and like just amazed that, you know, the impact that I can bring to other people. It was just like, oh my gosh, you know, like there's this like loss of words for it, and it just also just makes you just want to fight harder, just go harder for the club and just try to give all of yourself, because you know that people are giving it to you.
And that Pau game winner, and that, game 4 regular season ending shot of yours that took us to overtime. And I remember that dunk you had against Paris in just the first game of the season.
Right.
Okay, these are the top 3 highlights of yours this season, I believe.
Right.
Rank those in order, please. For you.
I would say the layup in game 4 was number 1.
Yeah.
To close out a series with a layup like that, to get to the Final Four is like, that was huge for us. And then our overtime, Taylor absolutely dominated with Kem. But it almost felt at that time in that fourth game that the lights were out for us, and we were going to come back to Fenerbahçe. And hitting that shot was probably number 1. I would say number 2 is the Panathinaikos one. I think like they had beaten us the first time, and now it's time to go win there on their home court. There's nothing better than an away, sold-out crowd, game-winning shot to hear crickets in Owaka. And then third was the dunk for me.
Yeah, and I mean, the end of the season was a bit frightening for the fans a little bit because
Right.
was this kind of a physical exhaustion for you guys or a mental exhaustion at the end of a very demanding season?
Yeah, I think that Zalgiris you have to give a lot of credit to their team and their toughness.
You were ready for Žalgiris, that's for sure, but
Right.
last rounds of the regular season, I mean.
Right. I think like this was a new model of EuroLeague, adding 4 more games to the equation there. Also keeping up with your domestic league, Turkish league, which is arguably top 3, top 2 toughest domestic leagues in Europe. So you had to just fight through the exhaustion. You had to fight through the mental fatigue that you have going through a season. But that was a hard-fought battle in Zalgiris, and everybody that was part of that game and our team understood that, and we were very happy to move on.
Your 3-point shooting went very up high in that series. Then
Right.
also your assist and turnover ratio was key. You got it up to a very high situation. You were ready for the playoffs. I mean, like Ken Burch, you guys
Right.
are different in that part of the season.
Right. I knew going in to the Zalgiris series that they were going to play a lot of the drop defense, which I hadn't really faced a lot of throughout the season. A lot of the teams do a short show or switching defense or a complete hedge. Zalgiris, their tradition like us with drop defense, so knocking down that 3-point shot was going to be a key factor for our team and for me to loosen up the defense. So I had a lot of preparation with that beforehand. I got the privilege not to play in our Manisa game for Turkish league, to stay back and just get extra reps on that stuff, and it showed. And I believe I shot a very good percentage from 3, and it helped the team's performance and helped my performance.
Great. Second game you played the whole fourth quarter, third game the whole last 70 minutes of the game, and the fourth game last 80 minutes. After the series, you said this was the most exhaustion
Right.
you felt, the most fatigue you felt, but were you able to handle it? You definitely did.
Yeah, that was it was tough.
But right now, we are waiting for May 22nd.
Yeah.
I mean, last year we were waiting for May 23rd, and it
Right.
went our way,
Right.
for sure. How are you feeling about it going into the Final Four?
I mean, we're playing against Olympiacos team that has dominated the regular season like they always have. Clear-cut favorite to win the Final Four with their domination series over Monaco. We know what type of game this is going to be against Olympiacos team. They have 3 guys that were on the All EuroLeague team. They have a system that is just unbreakable, and we have to find a way. We've had success against Olympiacos over the past 2 seasons. We need to figure out a way to get one more win and head to a championship.
I mean, Barsokas said during the season that you are very loved by Olympiacos fans after that game winning of yours against Pau.
Right.
But this might change soon, I guess.
Yeah, the tables have turned. I have a friend over at Panathinaikos now. Every Panathinaikos fan is in love with me and doesn't want Olympiacos to win. So that's how the game goes over there. One moment you're favored by one team, and now you're favored by the other team. So this is going to be an exciting game. You're playing Olympiacos. You're playing in the Final Four. Every game is a battle. Hopefully, we're able to raise the crown.
Hopefully. Your career high in assists was this year against Olympiacos, by the way.
Okay.
I mean, that's a nice thing to remember
Yeah.
going into this matchup.
Yep, that'll be good. Hopefully, we can continue that, have good games, and everybody plays our style of basketball.
2 more games.
2 more, that's it.
2 more. Good luck, Wade. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wade Baldwin'le birlikteydik. Burada sohbetimizi noktalandırıyoruz. Hoşçakalın.
Kazanmak için önce kafanın ferah olması gerekir. Mücadele stresli, koşullar zorluysa yeni Head & Shoulders Men spor ferahlığı. İlk kullanımdan itibaren %100'e kadar kepek koruması ve benzersiz mentor ferahlığıyla sen de kafanı ferahla, kazanmaya başla. Ben bu kafayla daha çok kazanırım. Yeni Head & Shoulders Men spor ferahlığı. Kazanmak kafada başlar.